Good morning, this is Sean Sandridge coming to you with another video, so hit that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend about me. Just so you didn't already know, you can find me on other social media platforms. You can find me on Periscope, you can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram. Same name, keeping it simple. So, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone is well, starting off the work week. I have not been on camera for a minute, so I wanted to jump on camera and just let you know what's been going on with me. I have been resting from the half marathon. For those of you who have been with me while I've been going through my training, I have had some annoying foot issue, and I've been doing all the things, and I bought the medical sock to help stretch out that tendon and all that. And the other thing that you have to do is rest. So I decided I would rest last week, and I am feeling better. So I am going to run again tomorrow just to see how I'm doing, and then I will resume for the weekend. I'll probably do, I don't know, maybe 6 miles. The other half marathon is October 8th, so I'm gonna run during the week, and I'm gonna get a couple of long runs in, and I'll probably will do a little bit more resting just so that I can feel good for the next race. So I wanted to tell you what I did on Saturday. My husband and I, we double dated with another couple, and we saw Gladys Knight. So I want to rewind and kind of give you the background. After Prince died unexpectedly, my husband and I were talking, and we just said, you know, I had the pleasure of seeing Prince twice. I saw him during the Purple Rain tour, and then I saw him again in Chicago, I would say about 7 years ago. It might have been a little bit longer, but it was a few years ago. So I was able to see Prince. But as you know, a lot of people have been dying. We've lost a lot of great people since the beginning of the year. And I would say even started, you know, with Natalie Cole passing away, I believe in December, maybe November. And then of course, when you think about all the greats, they're up there in age. And so my husband and I made a concerted effort that if there was going to be somebody that we really wanted to see, we weren't going to wait. And so my husband surprised me with tickets to see Gladys Knight in Michigan Saturday. And let me just give a review on Gladys Knight and the show. The show was absolutely fantastic. She's 72 years old. She's gonna be 73 May of next year. And if you want to hear good singing, if you want to see good entertainment, go see Gladys Knight. Her voice is so strong. I don't know what vocal lessons or vocal training she's doing to keep it up, but to hear her at her age sing, and singing and not straining, singing and belting, I mean smooth as silk, strong. And her backup singers were not holding her up. She was solid all by herself. She has a young band. I think with the exception of one gentleman, I don't think anyone is over the age of 35, and frankly, I don't think anyone is over the age of 30 in that band. So for her, that's great, because the band is keeping her up to date and young, and you can tell that she has a very young spirit too. And she was so entertaining, and she was telling quick stories in between. That lady didn't even take a sip of water during the time she sang, and she sang for about, I would say, an hour and 20 minutes. And her theme throughout the night was love. And I didn't realize how many Gladys Knight songs I knew, to be honest. And of course she was big, you know, during the Motown, because that's where she started. But I remember her, I mean, obviously through my mother, but she had a lot of hits in the 80s as well. So I didn't realize in my own right I knew a lot of Gladys Knight music. And then she sang a lot. She covered a lot of songs. She sang Adele. She sang Lionel Richie, Hello. She sang Sam Smith. And it was just great. And then her backup singers did a tribute to Prince. They did a medley of his songs, and then she came out. She was behind them, letting them shine, and then she walked out in between them, and she started off singing Purple Rain, and the crowd went great. They went nuts. It was great. And I think it's a testament to her long-standing, why she's still here. We were at the Four Winds Casino in Michigan, and it was packed. It was packed. And it had all different age groups, all different races there, because the beauty of music is good music, and it's just going to attract people that want to hear good music. And you know, there were birthdays going on, and there were kids that took their parents there for their birthdays and all that stuff, and it was just a great time. Now, it wasn't no Beyonce concert where everybody's jumping up and screaming and singing per se, but the energy in that concert was absolutely amazing. And again, I think it's a testament to who she is as an artist, that she still commands that stage. She looked absolutely beautiful, and she had this really cute outfit on, and it was all glittery and stuff, and I like that. I like to be bedazzled. But it was really, really good, and I was so happy that I went, because, you know, let's face it, you know, we don't know how long she's gonna perform, or, you know, God forbid something happens. And I'm so glad that I can say I saw Gladys Knight. And I encourage you that if there's someone that you want to see, you know, the days aren't promised, and if there's someone you want to see, go and see. And incidentally, Cedric the Entertainer was also performing. No, I'm sorry, I went on a Friday night. Cedric the Entertainer was also performing at a different casino on Friday, and I was like, man, I would have loved to have seen him. I would have loved to have seen him. I didn't get a chance to see Bernie Mac, you know, and who would have thought? So that's what I did on Friday night. So that was good. And like I said, I was resting in between that, and we had a women's conference at my church, so I was busy with that all from Thursday through Sunday. I was exhausted, but it was a good time had by all. So I wanted to talk to you just briefly, kind of chit chat about I saw the second episode to Iyanla Fix My Life, The Healing House, with the second segment of The Angry Black Woman. Did you see it? Now this one was really interesting. I didn't rewind it. I just saw it one time and just talked about, again, all of the hurt that these ladies have experienced. But what I also saw that was pretty insightful was all of the lack of self-esteem that the ladies had. I mean, there was I would say lack of self-esteem and not understanding their worth, that poured out in the behaviors and the choices that they made. And there's a set of twins, and one has never been married. One was married for over 20 years to a man who really didn't treat her well. And she stayed because she was a good girl raised in the church, and she thought that that's what she should do. And he left her. He left her, and he left her for a white woman, and that was other segment of the show. And the one other twin, she gets into these relationships too quickly, and she got her jaw broken by an ex-boyfriend. I mean, it was crazy. The one woman who's an attorney, who has another she has an issue with another lady, Alana, who's the model. They have it out the first episode, but they really just don't jive. But the attorney, who can't own to her own stuff, which is pretty evident, she spent all this money on a man, bought him clothes, got him this, bought him a car, did all this stuff, and the dude wouldn't even show up to a funeral for her to support her. Now, she's supporting him, but he's not supporting her emotionally. She's supporting him financially and probably trying to build him up. And he couldn't even show up to a funeral. See, so there was this thread of lack of self-esteem, not understanding your worth, making these choices and picking poor quality men, because somewhere deep down they felt that that's all they could get, or that's all they deserved, or I don't know. That really wasn't spoken, but it definitely says you don't feel like you're worth getting what you're getting. And then they're angry because these men weren't quality men to begin with, and so now they're angry. So the second part of the segment was Iyanla was having a mixer and was allowing the ladies to try to work on some of the tools so that they can handle themselves in social situations and not go off. And she found 4 black men who they need work too, but 4 black men who are self-proclaimed men who do not date black women, and they all have various reasons. And so there were the ladies from the house, there were 4 black men that were going to be in the mixer, and then there were going to be white women, because there's this undertone of why do black men feel that black women are angry, and why do they feel like they have to go to white women to date. So it was interesting. It really didn't touch much on some of the ladies were kind of bimbo-ish with their behavior and vulgar talk. Like, if I met somebody for the first time on the opposite sex, I wouldn't be talking sex. That's just me. But I feel like you're putting a certain amount of energy out when you're talking about sex on the first encounter. I would have kept it light, kept it surface, and that's it. I wouldn't be talking about sex, but that's what they were doing. And then one of the twins, I can't remember which one. I don't know, because they do look pretty identical. I don't know it was the woman who's divorced or the single twin. But there was this dude, and I don't believe him, and he was saying how he's been abstaining for sex for 3 years. I'm not saying a man can't abstain from sex. I do know men who have abstained from sex and they have been celibate until they found their bride. I'm not saying it's not possible. I wasn't buying him by the way he was behaving. Now, he was saying how, you know, he was a good-looking guy, and long dress, good-looking guy. And he was saying how women are turned off, and that, you know, he's a man of God. He's a godly man, and he's looking for a godly woman. And he has not had any sex whatsoever for 3 years. Now, for a man to say that, for anyone who says that, who's practicing celibacy, I don't think you would be behaving the way you would be behaving at the mixer. So he was with the one twin. They were hugging up on each other, and they were hugging up on each other real good, like the body language was strong. And I would think that if you are a godly man and you want to find a godly woman, you would not be hugged up on a woman you just met for an hour. I mean, if there wasn't anybody around and he hadn't said what he said on camera, I think he would have said, "You want to do this?" And she would have said, "Come on." And they would have been up in the room. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. What he said and what he was doing was two different things. Because most people who are celibate, who are truly practicing celibacy, are not going to put themselves in a situation and not going to give off, he was giving off different vibes. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. He's getting something. I'm not buying it, because he was a little too free with his body, and he was a little too, and she was ready. I mean, she was ready to go. So that was a crazy scene. But the one young lady, she's the second youngest. She's 31. She handled it really well. I think she really took the situation, the mixer, really well, because she really wanted to know, why is it black men date outside their race? What is it about black women that black men don't find attractive? And she was really serious, and I think she took the exercise to heart. So I was like, kudos to you. That's cool. So yeah, that was an interesting segment. There was a segment with Ronnie, who not Ronnie, I apologize. Oh my gosh, I think her name is Crystal. She played Ronnie in the movie Players Club, and she has a lot of pent-up anger, which I think she was a great representative of a lot of women. She is estranged from her mother. She hasn't spoken to her mother in 4 years. She feels that her mother doesn't respect her as a woman. But Iyanla was like, well, you don't respect yourself as a woman. So I hope that she makes amends of some sort with her mother to get some of that anger out. And they went into like the beat up room, which was a room that had a big old punching bag, you know, like for boxers, and they had bats and you could hit it and all that stuff. So to get some of that anger out. And I do agree that a lot of times when you don't have an outlet, it's not healthy. And I think that's another reason why, especially women, for stress, because we can buckle under the stress, and we can be razor sharp with our mouths and not necessarily know what to do with all of that stress and all of that frustration of life, that it's good to get that out through exercise. So that was a good thing. So that's enough babbling for now. I'm on my way to meet with a client. Do you see the back of my window? I'm so upset about it. I got to get it fixed today. My car is looking so hoopty right now. So my sons, they mow lawns on our properties that's how they make their money. They cut the lawns. And If you start off on the van too fast, the lawnmower, the handle hits the window. Well, it did it one too many times and shattered the back glass. Just shattered. It's all gone. Luckily, it didn't happen on the freeway. It happened while he was 3 blocks away from home. But I'll be on my way back to the office to get the window replaced. So, yeah. I'm really hooptified right now, and I'm not liking it. But that's all for now. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, a wonderful rest of your week. Take care of yourself and each other, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.